All right. I think that's it. Looks good to me. All right.
Perfect.
We are live. Slightly new digs today. I don't know if you noticed.
Oh yeah, that was the first thing I noticed. I was gonna bring it up, but
Yeah.
we were getting things done.
That's right. Yeah. Well, tell you what, I'll do the intro. I haven't written a new intro yet, so you're gonna get the old one. But there's gonna be some changes around here over the next couple of months, and this is kind of do I like this? Do I not? But welcome to Talking Heads, everyone. Episode 401, your once-week live show for the latest in beer and tech news. I'm Jeff.
I'm Rett.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining on this Wednesday night or in podcast form over on Spotify or wherever your favorite podcasts are found. If you've never seen the show before, we talk beer, we talk tech, we talk games, pop culture, entertainment. Sometimes some Star Trek. There's been a lot less of that lately, and also the
Never heard of it.
The decor's different. Yeah. Sometimes some Star Wars.
Yeah, let's go.
All super chats are run on the air so long as they will not permanently demonetize the channel. We do drink alcohol on the show, and if you're drinking along with us, alcoholic or not, let us know in the chat and we'll give some early show shoutouts as we go along. Last but not least, if you'd like to take part in the super secret chat and the even more super secret after party, think about joining the Patreon. Link is down in the video description. As a bonus, you'll get exclusive access to my Discord server, where you can chat with myself, John, Rett, Steve, all the hosts from Talking Heads. No, that's not them anymore. John, no, god dang it. John and Steve will still make some appearances, but Rett, Tom, Jeff. You see how hard it is to break old habits?
I know.
Gosh.
I know. It's only been 8 years of that.
I know. And nearly 5 years since I've been doing this intro, almost unchanged. Like, we started in 2020 COVID era, so it's been over 5 years. And I think within 6 months I had it pretty dialed in as far as cadence and everything else. So yeah, this one's going to take some time to switch over. But hey, John and Steve are still over in the Discord, and John is kicking my ass at fantasy football right now, so screw him. And join the Discord, take part in the awesome community that hangs out over there. One sec. Episode 401. Come join us now. Got to share out the show over to the blue skies. There we go. Cool.
Gotta skeet it out.
That's right.
Skeet, skeet. Down, skeet, skeet.
We cannot use any of the following words in that song. What do I care? I'm not on a Disney-owned station.
Yeah. Just wait till they're all Disney-owned, Jeff.
That's right. I will say I am sticking with Kimmel in solidarity. I will also not be on Disney Plus or Sinclair Media Broadcasting this week. So
brave choice.
We're hoping to get that worked out before too long, and I can resume my career. But it's just not looking like it's going to happen this week.
Is what it is.
Vince sends over a $10 super chat. Error 401, unauthorized. See, now I think you're just going through all my wallet options. He sent a 400 last week, and now he's got a 401 at me. So I think he's just going through all my wallet options. Available on craftcomputing.store. In fact, here's my Bad Mother Flipper wallet, which is my daily carry wallet. So you can
love it.
There you go. Let's see here. Thank you, Vince, for that. Let's go ahead and get started with, Rett, what do you got to drink tonight?
Well, because I missed the big 400 last week, I saw all your fallen soldiers there. I decided that, I could give a belated salute to John and Steve and to episode 400 with a bottle I've been hanging on to for a while. It's the Dragon's Milk Crimson Keep. It's bourbon barrel aged red ale. So let's see if it'll focus. Yeah, look at that. So this has been we'll say aging in my fridge for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think it's finally time. I got a couple of these bottles, so
Sweet. We're all fans of the Dragon's Milks, the original Dragon's Milk over here. I think you're the last of the group who has not tried this one, if you are opening this one for the first time.
I am opening it for the first time.
Excellent. This is like watching your kid figure out how to ride without training wheels for the first time. This is first steps. Like this is a big moment over here. I kind of don't want to open mine. I just want to watch you enjoy yours for a second. Like,
oh man, the smell is hitting me. That bourbon barrel aged smell is a punch to the nostrils.
Yes,
even from arm's reach away. Oh, that's that pungent barrel aged scent.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say, and this might lose me points, is that smell has always struck me as like syrupy almost, maple syrupy. Wow, creamy, smooth, and I mean, ooh, I wasn't too far off with that like molasses kind of flavor in the back.
No, you were not. Yeah.
Oh my God. And I mean, it's sweet, but like thick and malty, and
yeah. See, we get quite a few reds over here on the West Coast, but they're typically hopped reds. We don't get a lot of true English style malty browns and reds and things like that. So finding one that's not like back hopped or fresh hopped or Dawn of the Red from Ninkasi or something like that, it is a little bit of a rarity. Also, red ales tend to be 5 or 6%, like at the most. 11%? Yeah. And they pulled it off. It has all of the right flavors.
Oh. Yeah, this is like a dangerous one because it's like, it's a small pour.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 12 ounces. It's a good pour. I really, I can't hardly drink pints anymore, but...
Yeah.
I want to like suck this down. It's like, oh dang, that's good.
It is one that feels like you kind of want to gulp and chew it a little bit. Like it's that thicker body, but it's this deceptively smooth.
It's incredibly smooth, and just like the color is incredible. I mean, really, I guess it doesn't do justice with my lighting, but for me, where I'm viewing it through the light. I mean, you can see that it's got that unfiltered look. The color is just rich and malty, caramelly, and wow.
So
big fan of this. Big fan.
Yes. Yeah, no, that is by far probably top 2 of my Dragon's Milk variants that I've ever had. So glad you finally got yours open. I am having a newer variant from New Belgium. The Fat Tire people. This is their Hop Dynasty.
Nice.
So this is one of their more recent releases on their IPAs. I had one just a couple of weeks ago, and I actually don't remember much about it. So this will be kind of my first go around with it. Definitely first on camera, but first off, like crystal clear, like and almost like a golden color. Like it's not yellow or green or some of those tinges that IPAs tend to be. This is like almost amber ale levels of golden, and just crystal clear.
Love that color.
Mm-hmm.
Radiant.
Oh, see, that's just a really good IPA. Oh, speaking of like large-bodied and smooth. That's good. That's really good. Yeah, that and I are going to get along just fine.
Perfect.
So obviously, slightly new decor around the Talking Heads frame. We've even got a new. I did these up in just like an hour and a half.
The internet
earlier this week. Yeah, the internet. Yeah. So when we started going remote shows back in 2020 because of COVID, it was like, okay, this is going to be like 2 weeks and then everyone goes back to normal. And so I think week 1 I tried to do like this wood background, and I literally just threw, I took like a tiled wood thing off of Google Images and just threw it up as a background, and then put like me and Steve, I think Steve did the first show, where it was like Steve was in this corner and I was in the opposite corner. And I had a font on it that didn't make sense, and it looked terrible. But I'm like, it's 2 weeks, whatever. Well, it irritated me so much that the next week I designed what would be the LCAR system that we all kind of grew accustomed to. But as the show went on, I just never really like changed it. Like I liked it, but at the same time, that is clearly not my IP. That is, Now, we talk enough Star Trek, and I don't think. Look, if Paramount wanted to come after me, they probably could have. Not that the show was really monetized. In fact, I don't even monetize the show on YouTube. But at a certain point, it like just started wearing on with me a little bit. Like, man, I wish this would be a little bit more unique, a little bit more original, less Star Trek-y on brand for my channel, and more like just straight up on brand for the channel. I thought about going with a steampunk thing. I thought about, going back to like wood trim or whatnot, and I just couldn't find a look that I liked. And so I actually started going through all of the different game asset packs that I've bought over the years. And I found this one, which is like a pixel art, like combat ready asset pack that you can throw into Godot or something like that. And so I scaled up some of the images, and I do own these. I have the license for commercial use, and you can edit them at your own free will. So whether it goes in a game or on a podcast, doesn't matter to me. But
yeah, it's fun. You were kind of talking about this idea of new assets, or whatever, and I was like, I don't know, man. Have you checked like all the websites where you can buy these types of bundles and these packs and all this? Because I've had to do the same thing where it's like take stock of all the like different game assets I bought over the years, and I'm like, oh, this is more than I could ever use in my entire life. And there's something and that's exactly what I ended up doing when years ago when I started doing the we didn't do it very long, but the live stream for our Dungeons and Dragons podcast was like, well, I could make something, it all looked like crap, and then all of a sudden I realized, like, oh, I have all this other stuff that's easily manipulatable in Photoshop and easily adjustable, and it looks great, and it suits the fantasy theme, and why not? Perfect. We're just living life out here on the internet, so
exactly. But I knocked this one up. I'm still not like thrilled with it, but I figured it was a good start, and maybe we'll start getting feedback. But like I mentioned, one thing about the channel or about this podcast in particular, is I felt it hasn't really ever evolved. Like it definitely has its own identity, but I don't know that it's necessarily key to a large part of my audience. It definitely narrow focuses on people who are enthusiastic about all things Jeff, and that's totally fine. That's why I started the channel in the first place. But I'm kind of wanting to narrow focus in on a little bit more about what we cover and how we cover it. Start bringing up more Homelab topics and just like bringing up Homelab discussions in general, not necessarily just being a whatever was in the news this week, but varying up the guests a little bit and bringing in, not that John and Steve don't work in IT, but they're software developers day to day. And that's kind of why I also like wanted to shift them aside and get some new perspectives in here with more hardware things, which is what I typically talk about. Rett, you've talked about, wanting to get a small server at your place. So maybe we get you set up with a small server and we talk about your hardware journey and your Homelab journey as that starts to evolve. Try covering more specific topics that are a little bit more relatable to the content that I'm trying to produce anyway.
Bam.
So there's going to be some changes. slowly over the next couple of weeks. I think they'll be kind of subtle as we kind of settle into a new format, settle into some new decor and design. But it's still me, you know, so not that much is changing. I need to put my fan back up because holy crap, I am sweating like...
Where'd the fan go? You threw it out with the new format? You're
No,
just like, gotta go.
I needed the tripod mount on the desk when I was traveling, and I just never put it back. And then we've done the last couple of shows remote anyway, so I haven't been sitting back at my desk to do a show in 4 weeks now. Like this is the first time back at my desk in I think 3 weeks, and next week I'm out doing another live event. So yeah, everything's just kind of in cast aside, and Rett especially knows how much I need that fan blowing on me.
Yeah. It gets hot under the lights, you know?
Yeah. He had 2 jobs here. Make sure the lights and the camera were on, and make sure that fan was pointed at my face.
Yeah, you start a shoot without that fan pointing in the right direction. It only took about 5 minutes until you realized it.
I am dripping sweat over here. So yeah, we'll see how long this lasts.
Chug that beer, cool off.
Yeah, that'll help. You know what I'm gonna do?
It's when you need a couple of Rainiers on retainer.
Actually, you know what's really funny is I have the 45 Homelab HL8 here on my desk, and I happen to have a desk fan right here. I'm literally going to plug this into the board, turn the server on, and point the fan at me right now. That's literally what's happening.
Starting off the new format with some real server-related content.
There we go. All right.
Is it helping?
Just turned it on. Oh, yes. Oh, that's wonderful. And I am taking a picture of that so everyone knows I'm not BSing. That's exactly what I just did. Oh, that's wonderful. That's nice. All right.
Rev, it's actually Retanier.
Retanier?
Because I said you got to keep a couple Rainiers on retainer. So Rev wrote retainer. Although, is retainer spelled? I don't even know. But he spelled it in such a way that I'm inclined to say Retanier. Nice.
So I literally opened the front of my HL8 and I strung a fan out the side of it. So there we go.
Boom.
So, anyway. Cool. Let's go ahead and dive into the news. And like I said, we're going to slowly be starting to cover some more Homelab specific topics, and I think we will start that with some Intel Arc Pro news. Intel Arc Pro B60 has been spotted on a couple of different retail sites for $599. And looks like it may be shipping in the US here within the next couple of weeks. If you're not familiar, the B60, let me make sure I'm getting my numbers right here. So there's the B580. Oops. And it has, hold on. Of course, Tech Power Up doesn't have a list yet. Awesome. Anyway, this is basically the B60. Is basically a B580. It's the same exact processor. It's the G21 processor with 2,560 cores. But instead of being 12 gigabyte of GDDR6, it is 24 gigabyte of GDDR6. So quite a hefty package of memory in a pretty inexpensive card. So whether you're looking to do AI processing or video encoding or a number of other tasks, this might be landing in quite a few, obviously not budget, but high-end Homelab projects, or mid-range workstation or AI, AI projects. $600 is way less than I thought this was going to debut for. As videocards.com says, these did start showing up about 2 to 3 weeks ago on some Chinese retailers, but they were between $1,000 and $1,200. And I had assumed minimum this is going to be $899, like when it hits the US. There is no way I thought we were going to be looking at sub $900, let alone $600 for this card. Yeah, Maxon already has a dual GPU version with 48 gig shared VRAM ready to ship. It's 48 gig dual chip. It's a dual chip with dual 24 gig alignments. It's not quite a shared 48 gig pool. If you stick it in an AI server, for example, you can share memory across like non-latency dependent tasks. Specifically, AI tasks are probably pretty good for this, especially those that are multi-GPU aware. But don't think you can like crossfire SLI these together. This is not a shared memory pool. One GPU is not aware of the memory pool on the other GPU. So that is an important differentiator. But $599.
Yeah, is that price like confirmed? Is that like locked and loaded, or
that is showing up on multiple retailers? Central Computers is down in the Bay Area. I've been there a couple of times, and they are a very legit source for things like this. They're kind of like Micro Center, but they're exclusive to the Bay Area, San Francisco, San Jose. And if they have it for $599 and that's what they're listing it for, right, that's what the price is.
Dang.
So, but yeah, $599. This might be one of the new darling video encoder cards to be hitting the market. For a while, a lot of people were buying like NVIDIA P2000s, and then later it became the P4 when the P4 got knocked to under $100. And those are great cards for that, but they are a little limiting. They're only 8 gigabytes of VRAM. They've got old generation encoders. They've got 4th generation NVENC on them. And with the P4s especially, they're getting pretty difficult to cool because they're passive cards. So yeah, you get the GPU for $100, but then you have to have some kind of a fan solution to add to it between $20 and $50, or putting it into a rack mount server. The B60 is a blower card. You can stick it in anything, and it'll work. But one nice thing about this card is that it does AV1 encoding. It does X265. It does H264. You've got 24 gigs of VRAM to load up into it, so it'll actually probably do some pretty high-end video encoding for you. And it's going to cool itself. And Intel encoders are basically supported by every encode software that's out there. That's one of the biggest problems with AMD cards on the market right now, is AMD doesn't have a lot of support in programs like Plex or Jellyfin or your Homelab, Home Media Center encoders. Doesn't have a lot of support for AMD. I don't think has support in Blue Iris, although NVIDIA and Intel both do. So if you do a lot of security cameras, if you run your own NVR, this is probably going to be a game changer for you. Not only that, but the B60, I have heard through some little birds, is going to be SRIOV enabled. So you can split this among multiple virtual machines and divide its resources. Like, the holy grail of things that I've been searching for in a consumer level priced card, 6 years now, is now available for $599.
Amazing.
You can add this card to a server and SRIOV it into a number of different virtual machines. Right now, it'll work for compute and video encode. Gaming drivers are coming Q4, and I'm going to be talking to Intel about this next week. I'm going to find whoever's in charge of graphics now and ask them. And as Green says, a dual GPU version or individual 2x B60 cards could be a solution for VDI. Yeah, actually, the Max Sun version, which is a dual GPU version with 48 gigs on it, that's also going to be SRIOV enabled, and that's still a 2-slot card. So that essentially gives you 1 GPU per slot, which is another aspect that I've been chomping at the bit after different graphics card manufacturers for. This could be an absolutely killer card. And I'm blown away by the price.
Yeah. I keep coming back to that. Like, how, in this day and age, how are they getting away with that price when everybody's thinking that it was going to be almost double that just a few weeks ago?
If you want 24 gigs in a GPU, the price of entry is $2,000. It's either you buy an RTX 5090 and you get 32 gigs. You can buy an RTX 3090 or 4090 with 24 gigs. And whatever price those are selling for right now. I think the 3090 is back above 1,000 again. The 4090 is certainly not come down anytime soon. I think those are still, $1,400, $1,500 on the used market. $599.
Boom.
Yeah, it's nuts. Gabe says, NVIDIA gave them $5 billion to bury AMD. I think that's the layman's take on that. Intel, here's $5 billion. And everyone hears $5 billion and goes nuts. $5 billion is less than 5% of Intel's market cap. $5 billion is a little bit of a drop in the pan, if we're being honest. $5 billion is 2 months of revenue for Intel. I don't think Intel's graphics division is going anywhere simply because NVIDIA bought in. I don't think... the partnership was an investment from NVIDIA to partially stabilize Intel, but also say, hey, we would like to do some things together and start designing some chips together. Or not even designing chips together. Could you make a chip for us that we could slot some RTX chiplets in and get more compute power than we can get on Grace right now? Because honestly, Grace is a performance dumpster fire compared to anything that's x86 right now. So could you cut the level of latency between your x86 cores and our GPU processors, and let's dial in on maximizing performance? Intel's done this before with a couple different companies. Remember Enforce chipsets? Intel didn't dominate anyone then. NVIDIA was making chipsets with integrated graphics from NVIDIA for Intel on the motherboard. Remember... Hold on. I have it on the desk below me. Remember this little beastie? Remember this little Intel Nook?
Yeah.
That had AMD Vega graphics on package? With HBM memory on package? Remember this little thing? Did this make NVIDIA go out of business? No. These are small investments, relatively speaking. Now, $5 billion is still a lot of money, but it ain't going to make any of these companies go out of business.
See, and then Gabe says the other part I was wondering about too is it because of the U.S. fabs? Because we're looking at how much of the price expectation was could be attributed to tariffs and inflation and blah 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 blah. I mean,
Mhm.
how much of these are manufactured right here in the US, and how big of an impact does that make on the bottom line of the price?
Yep. So, yeah, I don't think this is a death nail for anyone. If anything, my theory is that this stabilizes Intel a little bit. Because NVIDIA is now going, hey, let's make sure we're building products that compete across the market. Because there's another market that NVIDIA is dying to get into, and that's the APU market that AMD has been kicking their ass and taking their lunch money in. Look at every gaming handheld on the market, with the couple exceptions that are running Meteor Lake from Intel. They are 95% AMD. There's no such thing as an NVIDIA APU for the gaming market. Sorry, scratch that. Nintendo Switch 2 exists. But there's no PC sales for that. Low-end laptops that rely on APUs. AMD's been dominating in that market for the last little while. NVIDIA has very little presence outside of $1,600 laptops. Like, that's kind of the barrier of entry for a lot of things. Maybe $1,200 to get like an RTX 5060 mobile, but NVIDIA's not doing well in the lower end side of things. You know what? Slapping a 4050's worth of RTX cores as close as you can possibly get them to an Intel CPU, that sounds like a pretty darn good combination. So, what about Tegra? Name me a consumer Tegra product. Name me one. I already said Switch 2.
We're waiting, Coffee.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Come on, Coffee. Yeah, it's just NVIDIA sees these other markets that they would like to compete in, and partnering with Intel gives them a little bit of an edge. But it doesn't eliminate AMD from the equation. AMD is still putting out phenomenal products on their own right, and has been the market leader for the most part in most of those product segments. It's going to be a while before tide turns the other way. It's going to be 12 months before we see a product that has any kind of integration between Intel and NVIDIA. So I don't think this is that big of a deal. I think it's a big deal because it stabilizes Intel. It gives them some guaranteed partnerships and some guaranteed income in the next 12 to 48 months. Because obviously NVIDIA is going to be buying more chips now than they were. I don't think NVIDIA is going to be using Intel fabs. I don't think Apple's going to be using Intel fabs. So this was a much needed win for Intel, but it didn't kill anyone. And it's certainly not monopolistic to, hey, we need x86 chips for a number of projects. Let's reach out to one of 2 x86 manufacturers on the planet. Yeah.
People name some products though, Jeff.
NVIDIA Shield circa a decade ago. Sure.
No, don't say that. Oh, the psychic damage.
Yeah, Switch 1, Switch 2. I named the Switch. Any other Tegra products?
Man, I thought 2015 was just a few years ago.
Yep.
Not cool, bro.
Yep.
Not cool.
Oh, man. So yeah, overall, I like this partnership. I don't think it's heavy-handed from anyone. I think it's nothing but benefit to the market. Remember, competition is a tide that raises all ships. And NVIDIA and Intel being able to more directly compete with AMD in some of the markets that AMD has. You know what? A lot of people were upset that we only got 5 to 7% increase in IPC going from Zen 4 to Zen 5. A lot of people felt like AMD might be holding back a bit. You know why they wouldn't hold back? I don't know. Maybe Intel nipping at their heels, because that's not happening right now. You want the best products on the market? You want the absolute best results, the best prices, the best timelines, everything else? Make your companies competitive with each other. That's how you get that. And stop fanboying. These companies don't like you. They don't even care if you buy their stuff.
Hey, speak for yourself. They love me.
Lisa does love me, so that, there's that. Cool. I like how we got from Arc Pro to... this is one that rolled across my feed over the last couple of days. Posted by the United States Secret Service. And this was supposedly a cybersecurity threat that was uncovered by the Secret Service just a couple of days before the meeting at the UN headquarters in New York City. So nearby, are we?
I'm back. I don't know.
Okay,
is everything fine?
That was weird.
Yeah. Dropped you for a second, but
okay.
I think I'm up to speed.
We dropped exactly 286 frames. Cool. I don't know what happened.
Mother. Well, we started talking bad about, the tech powers, and they just flipped the switch.
That's right.
Shot across the bow.
That's right. Sorry, I said Lisa loves me. Jensen loves me too. Anyway, let me just start over here. So this one caught my eye a couple of days ago. This is the United States Secret Service apparently uncovered a telecommunications plot to bring devastation to mobile networks in New York City just a couple of days before the UN event was happening at their headquarters there. They first posted about it on Twitter, formerly X. I will never stop calling it that. And later published an entire press release about this massive imminent telecommunications threat in the New York tri-state area. Let me see if there we go. Protective intelligence, by the way, this is a direct quote. This protective intelligence investigation led to the discovery of more than 300 co-located SIM servers and 100,000 SIM cards across multiple sites. What that means, what a SIM server is it's a little box, about that big. It's got about 60 antennas sticking out of it, and you can slot 60 SIM cards into it, or like 120 SIM cards into it. It is used to flood mobile networks with traffic, with phone calls and data and text messages and things like that. These can be used to like generate spam, but they can't be used to generate like web traffic. They basically only interact with the mobile network carrier itself, not necessarily the internet connection that it goes out to. Quick math, 300 times about 120 SIM cards per unit. 300 times 120. That's 36,000. So 1/3 of the SIM cards might have been plugged in theory. But the little thingy in the back of my brain that says,
yeah,
I don't know about this, started going off.
Yeah. It's not as though the federal law enforcement agencies have been known for their credibility these past few weeks, So let's hear what the Jeff radar was saying.
So this was actually posted at our Discord server, and I won't mention who, but someone says, as someone who works with telecommunication systems on like a daily basis,
I must have seen this too.
That doesn't pass sniff test.
Yeah, I think what I remember seeing, and I can't remember if it was on Discord or maybe if it was on Blue Sky, was just like there's no way, even if it was 100,000 SIM cards, that's not even remotely close to a number that can overwhelm the network in New York.
Right.
And I don't know. Yeah, and I've seen nonstop like sort of evolution of this story unfolding all day because it was like one of the first things I saw this morning. I was like, oh dang, that's pretty neat, cool. What a neat story. And then as the day progresses, it's like, it doesn't pass the sniff test.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, this is even sketchier. Actually, it turns out that the sources were completely unverified. Actually, it turns out that, and so like everything about the story has just kind of
Yeah. Well,
unraveled.
someone published a full article about it. This is from Cybersect. And while, look, I'm not going to say they didn't find something.
No, they probably did. Just a normal spam. This, like, we've seen pictures of these.
Yeah.
Just a normal bot farm.
Which, by the way, I love the AI generated image of the SIM cards on corn stalks. Yeah. It's a great image. Great use of generative AI there. But if we scroll down, they have some of the... Oh, no, where's the pictures at? Oh, no, the pictures were on...
They're on the other link, right?
Were they at the bottom of this? Yeah, there they are. Okay. So... Yeah, we get pictures like this of... like I said, about 60 so antennas. They show some just kind of sitting on the floor. What was that? 5 to a stack and about 10 stacks. So about 50 SIM cards in each of these units. These ones in the first photo, obviously much larger. Each of these is a SIM card. There's easily a couple hundred SIM cards in each of these. So I'm not saying that this is nothing. But we get a little further along and you start noticing things. This plug up here. It's an interesting shaped plug. It's almost roundy.
Oh no! This isn't even New York.
There's another image of one of the SIM units, number 203 apparently. Here's a whole bunch of open SIM cards. Nowhere near 100,000 there. Someone could probably do the math on that stack, but that looks like maybe 500. Maybe. Here's one of the rooms that they found. That ain't a US plug. That ain't a US plug. That ain't a US plug.
I didn't even look at these pictures.
Here happens to be an image. That, yeah, so if this was their bust, sure. But there's question marks like all down the line as far as was this even found and was this even a threat? And I don't even know if it was found in New York because half the pictures they posted didn't have US electrical infrastructure in them. Far be it from me to call our government a liar right now.
Well, you see, Jeff, they're trying to obfuscate their geolocation by hiding the true plugs. What's that guy, the GeoGuessr guy? Rain Bolt or whatever? Have you seen him?
Yes.
They don't want Rain Bolt finding out where they are, so they obfuscating their positions in case they end up on Google Street View. Nagama GeoGuessr.
Yeah.
Rain Bolt just tears down their whole operation. He's like, well, actually, these plugs are only located on this street in New York City.
Yep. This plant is indigenous to one island in the Western Pacific.
I don't know, what it says about me that I'm always so skeptical. I mean, I read the story. I saw the headline. I took it at face value, and I saw some of the pictures, and I definitely didn't think it looked like as many Sims as they said. But I wasn't like really paying attention to what I was looking at, and then I saw it in the Discord channel, and it's just.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not surprising that people who want to have a good public perception of the work that they are doing inflate the story
Yeah.
to look cool. Um, we all do that at work, I guess, maybe on some small degree, right? We want to appear more competent or appear that we thought things through, or I don't know, But it takes on a whole new role when this is like law enforcement
Yeah.
or like some type of federal agency.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, this is the old, we confiscated 99 pounds of marijuana, including the duffel bag and suitcase that the marijuana was found in.
right, yeah. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe something happened, but then how do you explain the pictures that aren't in New York?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Unless there's an explanation that they are in New York, but
Could totally be.
I don't really buy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe because this is if you're thinking about the UN thing being a big story or whatever, maybe they got different plugs inside this UN building to make people feel at home or something, Yeah.
Look, I've been in hotel rooms with multiple plug types, and
Yeah, but not in America.
but the thing is, in America, we have a 110-volt infrastructure. You can't just
Yeah.
plug your Chinese stuff into that infrastructure. It's 240. It doesn't work.
Yeah. I've been in hotel rooms with lots of different plugs, but none of them were in the United States of America.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry. We do things one way here. Did you think that this country was flexible at
Yeah.
all?
Right.
No.
So this is an interesting story, and in fact, the article on Cybersect has some interviews with some people. I'll directly quote some of that here. Expert New York Times Anthony Ferrante quoted. He's blah 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 blah. Where was that? Both the experts claim things that are objectively silly. Ferrante says, "My instinct is this is espionage. These devices send things.
Wow.
They don't receive. There's
my instincts say
and could be used for
it's-
eavesdropping.
Oh, jeez.
That's not what these devices do. Yeah, this arrangement cannot be used for eavesdropping, and there's nothing particularly related to espionage here. Lewis claims only a handful of countries could pull off such an operation, including Russia,
Oh.
China, and Israel. You can buy these off AliExpress."
I don't know, man. One time I was in a developing country and I saw a guy walking around with a thing that had like 20 cell phones attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was using all 20 cell phones at once. I'm like, I don't know, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
100,000 SIM cards does not scream like, that's not like, I don't know. I don't know. How embarrassing.
Yeah.
How embarrassing, dude. My instincts are saying it's espionage. Done. Case closed. Book 'em, boys. Sprinkle some crack on them and let's go home.
God, where is the...
See, one guy says here, the one plug looks like a 220 volt for the AC. Or whatever that plug was.
The far one could be. That looks like a 30 amp twist lock, which I am familiar with. But that doesn't explain the one that's on the side that has an adapter going into it.
Yeah, come on, can you zoom in on that, Jeff? Let's use technology here.
The website won't let me zoom any more than this, especially in the current view. But this could be an AC plug. And I understand this is probably an old building because they have not one in-wall unit that's no longer plugged in there, but probably hardlined to that circuit. But they've also got a split unit up here that is channeled out to the outdoors.
Interesting.
Yeah, so really, really weird room in general.
I mean, people look that closely? Are these like AI generated photos? No,
they are not AI generated photos.
But are they? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's the first time I've ever had to ask that when I'm like thinking about news stories with it like
Yeah.
this. I'm like, well, could they be?
I mean, it is a good question.
They kind of passed the sniff test to me on that front, but
Yeah.
all the lines on that hardwood look pretty straight.
Yeah, and then there's this one of, the racks of equipment, and all the racks are the same width, all the antennas all make sense. Like,
dude, it's probably just like a DNC like phone banking like room or something, and they're just like, these are terrorists. They gotta go, man.
Right?
These people phone banked for the DNC fundraising platform over the weekend. They're like, do you want to stop fascism? Donate 50 cents now. It's just like a spam text,
I wonder if this is where all my USPS packages notifications are coming from.
This is the Act Blue text text farm here.
Something like that. So
what a mess, man.
Yeah. Far be it from me to call anyone in this administration a liar, but man.
But
I'm sure they found something. And maybe I'm seeing the images wrong. Maybe those aren't actually 220-volt foreign, round Chinese plugs or EU plugs or anything like that. Maybe those are US plugs. Maybe they got Chinese power plugs in and they had to plug in an adapter into those to make the devices work. Sure, I'll buy it. Maybe they did find 100,000. Sure, I'll buy it. This is a spam texter, not an espionage, or not something designed to cause damage to the mobile infrastructure. That's not a thing. That's not what these devices would be used for. This isn't spying. This isn't... Yeah.
Oh, Red Banana, you look homeless. Well, you could kiss my butt. Thanks, Red Banana.
Touche. Terrapup sends over $5. Thank you so much. People don't know that money. People don't know that money doesn't go far. I learned that this year. $5 billion is a drop in the bucket for Nvidia. Yeah, Nvidia's a $1 trillion company. You think they really give a crap about $5 billion investing in Intel? Intel barely gives a crap about that. Like I said, that's 2 months of revenue for Intel. It's not that much of an influx. It sounds big. It sounds big in like my daily life. Heck, I'll take $50 right now. Like that
sounds big for your daily life, Jeff. Come on, that money's life changing. You would never make another video again. Say goodbye to this podcast.
Dude, if I make $5 million, you'll never see my ass again. I'm going to put that money in the bank, retire to a beach somewhere. Are you kidding me?
You want him to stop? All you got to do is fill the coffers.
Yeah.
Put your money in when the bull comes around and he'll stop. You guys seriously want another 400 of these?
It's pretty simple, folks. The math's not that hard. You guys put
what you need, Jeff. You need 100,000 SIM cards to be spamming everybody to donate to the cause.
That's right. Yeah, you give me $5 million. I will be kicking my feet back on a beach in Belize for the rest of my natural life. You will never hear from me again.
Jeff, I'd probably see a whole heck of a lot more if you were in Belize. Come down to visit all the time.
Heck, you could come with me.
We're going. We're gonna be. You guys can find us at the Lazy Lizard in Key Culker. Drinking dollar pina coladas out of plastic cups.
Heck yes, I might start a brewery. That's my plan.
Dude, Belize though, man, they actually have like a state like control on the brewery in Belize.
They do.
They have one brewery there because it's a huge job creator and industry for the country. And their beer is very good.
Yeah.
Belican. I think that's what it's called, Belican.
Yeah.
And yeah, apparently it's a huge crime to cross the border. A lot of people, what they do is they drive north to the border in Mexico, fill up their car like we do, like Costco runs here. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, you're about to leave California, let better hit that Costco and fill up on spirits. You know,
Yep.
they do the same thing with beer and then bring it back. But if you get caught, you're in big trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, distillery then. Like.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I mean, I could
Maybe
live
a
off
$5
rum.
billion, maybe a partnership with Belican. You know, I don't know.
Maybe. Does Rett fit in your luggage? We'd find a way.
I got a passport. I just got a new passport, even.
Nice.
Brand new.
Nice.
Yeah. It's good to go.
Yeah.
I was a little worried about it there for a minute, but dude, it got back in my hands after 2 weeks.
That's not bad at all. Yeah.
Yeah, I was impressed.
Yeah. So we are an hour in. Figure it's time for me to open another beer. This is one that didn't quite make the cut for episode 400, but it was on the list.
Right.
It's on the list for a number of reasons. I'm pretty sure Novella sent this one over to me. So Novella Hub, thank you. This is from Black Stack Brewing. This might have also been Skull. I can't remember if it was Skull or Novella that sent this one over. It is St. Paul,
Sound off and
Minnesota, but it could be either one of them.
St. Paul, Oregon.
No.
Home of the rodeo.
Yes, and that's it.
Hey, they got a really good
firework display.
I was gonna say brew pub, but it's not a brew pub. They got, I guess it's just like a tap house out there. They got like I was gonna say new tap house, dude. It's got to be like 5 years old at this point.
It's a little, yeah. I was actually out there last year. One of I think my brother-in-law did a party out there, and so we went out there. We hit the tap house and hung out. It was fun. It was good beer. Something like 12 taps, like not huge, but it was good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
what's that place called?
From Black Stack Brewing, St. Paul, Minnesota, this is the Real World Citra Quadruple IPA.
Oh.
12%.
The real world, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
So 12%
Good Lord.
IPA.
Did you already decide to drink that, or did you just see me drinking an 11%er and you're like, well...
I already had this one out. I have no other cans on my desk.
See, I picked an 11%er to start with, and then a can of seltzer water to follow up, because there's just no way I survive the night if I drink another.
Oh, last week was something, man. You missed a good time.
Oh, I know. I was checking in with the live stream.
Yeah, man. I think we did the math the next day, because we consumed literally 100 ounces, like almost exactly. Split 3 ways, it's about 33 ounces per person, a touch over 2 pints. The average ABV of all of our drinks was 17.2%.
The pain in my liver just thinking about it.
That's a pint of 10% and a pint of 22%. That's more than a full bottle of 17% wine, because that's 750 mils and that's 26 ounces. This was 33. That is 6 pints of IPA. Like, it was a lot.
I knew that it must have been really good when people were calling for you to get into the after party, and it was like, I don't know, quite a length of time between the end of the show and you joining the after party.
That was involuntary.
Legendary.
So, anyway.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but you go back to the beginning of Talking Heads, and, you know, we were drinking quite a few, and now I can barely get through like 2 in one episode.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, anymore, that's kind of me too. Like, thank God that was over 3.5 hours last week. Like, because that was intensive. But yeah, I'm usually like a cocktail with dinner. I lost your audio. Is that on? Oh, there you are.
Did you?
You're back. Okay, that was weird. Yeah, you were gone.
Weird. Oh. You could be getting, I wonder if you're getting some like noise cutting because my mic is right by my laptop, and for some reason my laptop fan is just going like crazy. So
yeah.
But anyway, how's the beer?
That is quite intense. I mean, there's your color.
I love the color.
Yeah. And it is, as the kids say, she thick, boy.
That looks delicious, man.
Yeah. This is like Megalodon on steroids. Like, this is an intense...
So it's like very hoppy.
Very hoppy. Punchy in the mouth. And that bitterness comes right away.
Is it like dank or is it fresh?
It's fresh. It's not overly dank, not skunky in any way.
Okay.
Which I do like. I like some dank IPAs, but I usually like to veer more towards the vegetal or the citrusy. Not necessarily the full grass. Yeah, this is more in the vegetal range.
God, it looks delicious.
Chewy, very, very thick-bodied. Does not hide any of that ABV. It is 12%. Like it bites a little bit. But that is good. I really like that.
You know, this always happens to me after I drink a barrel-aged beer. Because again, it's like you can taste the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time I'm done, I'm like, man, I do want something a little bit more, you know, open and free and fresh and herbal and aromatic. You know, I see you drinking that IPA and I'm like, oh God, my mouth is watering a little bit.
Yeah.
Just imagining it. So it was from Novella, it looks like, according to chat.
It was, yes. So thank you, Novella. And this was one that came over almost 2 years ago. So yeah, it's been in my fridge. It's been aging for a while. Probably not the best idea to age an IPA that long, but this one certainly worked out.
Yeah. Good to go.
Yeah. Next up, Valve. Making some waves in the handheld PC market yet again. This is not the Steam Deck 2, but if you've been thinking about jumping on and getting a Steam Deck, there is a new low price to get one for a brand new one. $319 non-refurbished.
Amazing.
This is an incredible deal.
I mean, honestly, the Steam Deck was already worth it before the price drop.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Yes.
You know, I think of myself as a person who plays a lot of games, and if it weren't for the Steam Deck, that just simply wouldn't be true the last, year or 2 years or whatever it's been. You know, because of the Steam Deck, I get to play more games, and I just think that what you get, worth the price.
Yeah.
The portability, I mean, for guys, I played Baldur's Gate 3 on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now for $319, you can play Baldur's Gate 3 on it because not only is there a price drop, but did you see that they released
I was pulling that up now. I was pulling that up now. There is a native Steam Deck Linux version specifically designed for the Steam Deck. Now available as of Hotfix 34 for Baldur's Gate.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but I'm sure it makes a big difference.
Oh, I'm sure. It was a little bit chunky, and from what I hear, the improvements are above 50%. Like, it solidly holds like 50 to 60 FPS now. Whereas before it's like
Whoa.
20, 25, maybe 28. Like it was a, not that you need the most smooth of frame rates for a turn-based role-playing game, but it is nice that it smooths it out significantly.
Yeah, I will say, like, before, like, Act 3, you know, in Baldur's Gate itself, a little difficult to play on the Steam Deck.
A little chunky.
Everything else,
a little chunky.
Yeah, everything else, very manageable. Act 1 and 2, very manageable. Did my, did everything look a little smooth and Play-Doh-y? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Was I absolutely completely floored when I went back to playing it on my desktop and I realized that, holy shit, this game looks incredible?
Mm-hmm.
And what have I been doing to myself? Yes, also yes.
Yeah.
But I get to play more Baldur's Gate because of the Steam Deck. So,
right.
$319, and with promo code CRAFT. No.
Yeah. $320 down from $399. Like this is not this is almost 25% off.
Great deal.
Which is absolutely insane. The Steam Deck, and I've said this numerous times, it is not the fastest gaming device in the world. It is only 720p or 768p, 1280 by 768 screen. Or I think it's 800. I think it's 1280 by 800. Not the fastest girl at the ball. Not the sharpest crayon in the drawer. But it did give a lot of PC game developers a platform to standardize performance metrics on and give people a target to shoot for, which is something that PC gaming has really never ever had. Because PC gaming is so diverse, because you can hook up any GPU to any CPU and go to town, how do you target your 90th percentile of users to make sure that that game is playable? Well, if you target the Steam Deck, that's going to be a lower base point than pretty much any desktop GPU that's on the market. It's going to target a point that has pretty much easily hit the mark as far as hardware settings goes, as far as 800p, 8 gigabytes of VRAM, the aim. And so many games have been optimized to run on the Steam Deck that...
I get dropped, yeah.
Oh, we dropping?
Oh, there we go.
Oh, you're back. Okay.
But it gave people a place to aim, is what I heard. So
yeah, gave people a place to aim, and we're all kind of benefiting from that because here is some lower end hardware that is running modern AAA games at a playable frame rate at a quality setting that, yeah, it might be terrible if you scale it up to a monitor, but looks pretty darn good on a 7-inch screen. And it's letting people play games. And now you can do that for $320.
Incredible.
Unreal.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like you can spend more, you can get a console, you can spend more, you can get a desktop PC. But, I mean, I do this all the time. Is like I bought a little what the hell's the word? Dock, right? A dock.
Yeah.
And, sometimes I'll hook it up to a TV. I got some controllers or whatever. Me and my kiddo can play Ninja Turtles, or we can play whatever multiplayer game. And we can use it just like a console when I'm not using it as a handheld. And the thing is, it looks just fine. You know what I mean? We play Overcooked on the TV. We play Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate.
Yes.
We play... Game is so good. But... it's fine. It works great for that price, man. I wish I could have picked it up for that price, but even for the price I already did it, I'm already happy with it. I mean, $320, it's a no-brainer. That's a Christmas list item right there. So
yeah, didn't I give you the Steam Deck?
I bought it from you. It was like $400. You had two of the damn things.
I did. Okay, now I remember what happened. So I got on and I bought the Steam Deck the day it was announced. and I had a ticket that was 6 months out, because you had to reserve your Steam Deck and then get in line, essentially. So you paid $5 deposit or $10 deposit, and then when your number got drawn, you could pay the rest of the money. Someone saw that I was trying to buy a Steam Deck out of my community and said, "Hey, I got a reservation that just popped up," and this is like, maybe a month later, and said, "I got a reservation. My number just popped up, but I don't have the money to buy it. Jeff, do you want my reservation? You can just pay for it." And I went, "Yeah, okay, I'll do that, even though I have my reservation. But that's 4 or 5 months out. Yeah, I could probably use a Steam Deck right now." So I got that. The day after I paid for the reservation, my number got drawn. And now I'm like, why one Steam Deck when 2 Steam Deck for twice price? So I bought the second Steam Deck, and then I'm like, now what do I do with this? And so I sold it to Rett.
Yeah. I remember thinking, because you were like, "Well, do you want to borrow it for a little bit? You want to borrow it, get a little taste, bro?"
Yeah.
So you sent it home with me for a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, this is fantastic. I can't give it back."
You're like, "I hate you."
Like, yeah, seriously. It's like, can't give it back now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Right.
been money.
You want to borrow that Steam Deck?
I use it every day.
Yeah.
So.
No, and that's the thing. Go ahead.
No, I was just at the very least, it's like I'm not doing hardcore gaming or whatever, but it's like it's right by my bed. I go to bed, I play Caves of Cud for 30 minutes, before I fall asleep. But It's getting used every day, so it's getting more used than my laptop gets sometimes, and that's a work item.
Yeah, it's amazing what having an accessible gaming PC does for the amount of gaming that you can do. Because I was the same way. Like, my life is so busy that I almost never play PC games anymore. I don't have time for them. But man, the One X Player F1 Pro and even the Steam Deck still gets turned on every once in a while. I've also got the RG350M from Ambernick that has all my retro games on it, and it's a nice metal shell. The Ambernick's what gets dropped into my carry-on bag every single time, because it's this big and it has all of my retro games. And then if I have room for it, F1 Pro goes in from One X Player, which is the AMD HX370 AI. So RDNA 3.5, 16 compute unit, GPU, 32 gigs of RAM, 2 terabyte storage, 7-inch OLED. Gorgeous. But I hardly ever play on my PCs anymore.
Yep. It happens. It's the curse of getting older, Jeff.
Yep. Something kids, something.
Yeah. Someday.
Yeah. Let's see. There was another Valve story, and this one probably won't affect too many of you. In fact, the numbers say 0.01% of you. Valve is dropping 32-bit Windows compatibility next year.
No.
Now, they already dropped XP support, and I think earlier this year they dropped Windows 7 support, but this year, officially, they are dropping all 32-bit OS support.
Dang it.
But I'm trying to think of the most recent CPU that's been launched that didn't have 64-bit instruction sets. I think there was some Pentium G that was released in like 2012 that didn't have AMD 64 instruction sets on it.
That was just a few years ago, though. Why,
Yeah.
2012. I mean, yesterday, really.
I mean, gosh, even Atom processors got 64-bit support as of the Z processors, the Z520, Z540, Z8350, Cherry Trail. Remember Cherry Trail? Yeah, those were 64-bit.
It's an end of an era. You know, you can't blame Valve or whatever, but just another sign of the times. Moving on.
Does this impact some older apps, or can 32-bit apps still run just fine? 32-bit apps can run just fine because there's backwards compatibility for 32-bit apps within Windows. And so a lot of like DirectX runtimes and things like that have 32-bit compatibility layers already. And if they don't, you could probably run something like DXVK. But the difference between a 32-bit OS and a 64-bit OS with any game in the last, I'll just say it, 20 years, probably doesn't matter as far as games compatibility goes. Antoine says 64-bit with 32-bit UEFI. That will still be supported as far as I know, because it's just as long as your OS is 64-bit compatible. So that's going to be Windows 10, Windows 11, 64-bit. I believe 8.1 is still officially supported as well. So.
Good.
Yeah.
I got a laptop that's still on 8.1.
Why?
It's really a long story. No, it's not. No, it's just it's kind of a dead laptop at this point, but I still have to fire it up every once in a while because it has some homebrew software that I can't get to work on any other system of mine. And so every once in a while, I fire up that laptop and I got to run some apps. But it's not often anymore. I finally started paying money for things that I used to have my friends make me for free. So, you know, I'm growing up.
Yeah.
It happened.
Yeah.
I told the person I worked with one time, I said, yeah, you know, I had my buddy, traded him a case of beer and he made me an app to help me do this thing that I needed him to do. And he's like, you know, that just costs $6 a month now. And I was like, no shit, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I remember like when I needed this and my buddy made me this this little script that would do this, he I think like the cheapest subscription for something that did something similar was like $65 a month or something, you know? It's like now it's $6. My God. We've come a long ways.
Coffee says Intel Quark or AMD Geode was 32-bit, although Geode started as a variant of Athlon with the Athlon instruction set, the original Athlon XP instruction set. They were just a super low power version of that. And Intel Quark was that, I think that was the original Pentium. Just scaled down, similar to what they did with Knight's Landing when they were trying to build GPUs. Because Knight's Landing was a Pentium chip that ran original Pentium MMX 90 instruction sets, but at 1 gigahertz and on a much smaller FinFET. Intel Quark. The CPU instruction set for most models, same as the Pentium P54C i586. Yes! I'm still undefeated in weird esoteric trivia. The lack of SIMD instruction sets, such as MMX and SSE. So yeah, this was a non-MMX. Okay. Non-MMX on the Intel Quark. And the I do remember the Galileo board. Founded in 2013 and discontinued in January of 2019. Quark processors, while slower than Atom processors, are much smaller and consume less power. They ran at 400 megahertz on a 32 nanometer SoC.
Look how proud of yourself you are.
I know. I did have to work on quite a few AMD Geode processors. And the reason I got familiar with those is that was actually what was in the Cisco ASA 5505. One of their base model ASA units was a 500 megahertz AMD Geode. You could serial into it. You could boot it up to a custom OS if you wanted. You could do a lot of really fun things with that. It had a compact flash cart that was in the side of the box that you could replace with like FreeDOS and whatever you wanted. Couldn't do much with it, but it was x86. In other news, I thought my monitor was big enough, and I'm starting to doubt myself, and it's a really weird position to be in because, like, on my streaming desk here, I have a 34-inch ultra wide, like plebeian at this point. Like, you know, it's not necessarily small, but it's also exceedingly common on so many people's desks. 34-inch.
Do you even care about your viewing range, Jeff? I mean,
34-inch, 3440 by 1440. We could do better. And on my other desk, I have better. I have a Gigabyte F43U. It is a 43-inch 4K 144 hertz 10-bit IPS HDR10 god tier display.
I do miss editing videos on that thing.
That is such a nice display. But it's only 43 inches. I feel I could do better. I feel like somewhere out there, there's a bigger monitor. You know, like Samsung Arc, you know, I could go with one of the Arc displays. Those are 55-inch, you know, 4K. But those are curved and whatnot. Like, I kind of want like a flat 4K display.
Yeah, it fits on the wall right there.
Fits on the wall. Yeah, exactly. How about 162 inches? And that is not a typo.
Oh my god.
ASUS launches a 162-inch 4K micro LED Pro Art display that is 97% DCI P3 accurate.
How do you get a review sample of that?
Inquiring minds have already reached out. Just say. I've talked about a number of times I would love to do some virtual production here in my studio. If I could hang a 162-inch monitor from the wall behind me, oh my god.
Oh, that would be game-changing.
So many fun things.
You'd be like on the set of The Mandalorian, dude.
It's not far off.
Right?
Honestly, especially for like a one-person production.
Right. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
You need one.
I
What's retail cost? What are we talking here?
I didn't even look it up.
You should.
I should.
Here we go. Let's pass that collection tray around. We got some. Didn't we get some other super chat? I mean, you know, people
No, I
can keep.
think I got the one.
Well, we got
money doesn't go far.
Terrapup did
Okay.
$5. We
I
got
did
green. Oh,
Yeah, I did green.
all right. Well, hey. What about Gabe Seaman? Maybe.
Oh, sorry, I did
I
not
don't
do green. Green sends over $2. Intel plus NVIDIA handheld soon. That's kind of the goal. I did do Gabe with the Max Sun dual GPU version.
Okay. Just saying, you know, maybe we can get to that monitor tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking. I am not seeing $1 sign anywhere.
Because if you need to know how much it is, then it's not for you, I guess.
At the time of writing, there is no official information from ASUS regarding the availability or price of this device.
They're making one, and it's for Tiger Woods or somebody.
Yeah.
For his new Top Golf virtual, Yeah. Driving. Yeah. I guess it's not for you.
Linus recently did a video on their video wall display, which had me researching and searching for used video walls.
When's Linus getting rid of his?
That's a great question. I don't think anytime soon, but yeah, call for price. Yeah. Green says 120-inch is definitely a wall. Heck, even 100-inch projector screen is massive. Yeah. Little known fact, when I was toying around with some virtual production stuff, I mounted my 100-inch motorized screen in front of my desk right here. And it's still mounted because it's way easier to just leave it up there than it is to take it down and store it somewhere. But Rett, you weren't even here when I did this, but I did hang the 100-inch screen here. And I tried to do so. My issue was, even though I have the blinds on the window, I cannot isolate the light on my face without casting shadows on the projector screen behind me. You need way more depth than I have available to me. So I would need to stand under that beam with the projection screen literally on the wall behind me. And this would need to be fully light isolated from anything in front. There would need to be like baffles on the lights to hold down reflections and everything else. And I just don't have the setup for that here.
Not yet.
I don't like that. Hold on.
You don't like what?
Hold on.
I didn't do it.
I'll show you. There we go.
Who shared that?
Coffee and Cynicism went back to the very first remote episode and shared that.
You know what? It doesn't look that bad.
It wasn't that good.
Why is Steve so small though? Oh, because that's like a portion of it, and
yeah,
and he's far away.
Yeah. I mean, they are not the same size screens or images that I put on screen. So my head was way bigger than his.
Because you probably just captured his. You didn't have the virtual camera set up.
Right. We're looking two different directions. Because I was in this same exact position, almost identical to what it is on the screen. Like
yeah.
Like that's the fridge. Like my desk hasn't moved in 5 years. That's one thing I'm thinking about is I think I'm going to move my desk around here soon. But yeah, there's been like a lot of stagnation here in the office, and I've been wanting to work that out a little bit. But it was a horrible setup. But it was like, yeah, we're going to be quarantined for 2 weeks. It'll be great, you know. We'll do a couple of remote shows, and then we'll be back to normal. And then normal never returned.
I remember how weird it was, like asking, I just remember thinking, like, well, I mean, yeah, I think remote show would be ideal. It's like you didn't quite know what you were asking for. I remember having to pitch it to my Dungeons and Dragons podcast, like, well, like I just had a baby, and I don't want to bring anything home. Y'all are, I trust y'all, but maybe we could just do remote for a little bit. And then we did remote for a long time.
Yeah.
Probably like, I don't know, 2 years before we finally went back to doing it in person.
Yeah.
Doing the in-person thing with Craft, it just felt like once we had gotten into a groove with the remote, it was like, well, why bother?
Why bother going
this
back?
This is great.
And, And also,
there was times.
Yeah, there was a time we all lived about 7 minutes from each other. And
certainly not far.
It was nice. It was easy enough to get everyone together. I mean, hell, for me and Steve, for 7 months,
yeah,
we lived 2 blocks away from each other.
Glorious.
That is one thing we talked about on the show last week. Is one thing that we missed was Steve walking over to do Talking Heads. We opened 2 really big beers, and then we log off the show, and I go, "That was a great show." And then Steve stands up and opens my liquor cabinet and goes, "Get any new whiskey this week?" And we'd go for another 2 hours.
See, that's the thing. You know, I remember times in the early days where it's like, "Hey, man, like, what's up? Can I sober up?"
Right.
You know, it's like, you got any new comedy specials on this thing?
Yeah.
Because it's just, you never knew. You get rolling, you're having a good time. You don't want to stop.
Right.
You know.
Right. No,
So you just keep it
there
going.
were quite a few like stay till 1 a.m. so we could sober up through a couple of IPAs.
Yeah.
There were a lot of those.
Yeah. And now it's kind of glorious because it's not even anything you have to worry about.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And sometimes we do the remote thing, and I've always been a little bit envious of the production value of Jeff. You know, you've got the great lighting and the great camera and the great setup, and you know, I've tried to put something non-offensive, and over the last, I don't know, maybe it's probably been a year, I've got the void, you know. Yeah. Which isn't the worst thing in the world, but yeah, I'm sitting in a big armchair, so I constantly sink down into my chair, and I've got lots of but yeah, man, it's been quite the evolution of, you know. Personally, I didn't find the wood panel thing that offensive, and especially like trying to figure out a new way to do something on the fly. Like you showed incredible adaptability, so good for you.
Yeah.
You know, I remember like when I was doing the Dungeons and Dragons live stream. Oh yeah, loved that setup. We should have never left the bar, Jeff. What happened?
I know.
Should have never left the bar. Maybe John wouldn't have sold it. We'd still be there.
This was shooting on a camcorder.
Yeah, doesn't look that bad. I remember being a little bit surprised. I was like, "Oh, video." Yeah. There was a joke for like a whole year of like, "Do you look okay, Rett? Did you comb your hair?" You look fine. I still do that. Doesn't matter.
That's
now I comb my hair before I go on camera.
Yeah. Rett won Miss Congeniality 7 years in a row. On the Talking Heads podcast. John says, don't remember you guys paying for those beers. You weren't there, so...
Also, Jeff told me that he had your explicit permission, so...
I did. I'll have you know, John, it was months before I took my first beer, and you got more than your fair share of pints sold from my VR arcade. So, did I take advantage on a couple of occasions? Yes.
I brought people who would have never otherwise come to the tap room if it wasn't for the VR studio. So.
Yep.
Classic.
Yep.
Classic. But it did feel like breaking.
Yeah, it's where you and I officially met was because of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Indeed. Ages ago. Yeah, and it felt like breaking the rule. I remember like meeting you there to do that recording, and you're like, "Yeah, we can grab a beer." I'm like, "I don't know, man. Chuck's not here. Who's gonna pour that?" And you're like, "Don't worry about it."
I got it.
Like,
Yeah, no, I had explicit permission to pour my own beer there when the bar was closed, and so the bar was closed. I went downstairs and, yep.
Hey, we got a viewer from Eugene tonight.
Hello, Damon. Welcome to the show.
I haven't been to a hobo camp this big since Eugene, Oregon. You know, Futurama.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was, welcome to the biggest hobo camp in the quadrant. Oh, I've seen bigger. No, wait, I'm thinking of Eugene, Oregon.
That's okay. There we go.
That's the one. And as someone from Eugene, living in Eugene, when that episode aired, I got it.
Well, welcome, Damon.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome. Oh man, John's dropping the old Army Secret
Yep.
call back there. Dude, those were the days. You know, sometimes I wear that Belgian Underground shirt.
Yeah.
And which is the brewer that John's talking about. Anybody who's not in chat, and I still get people, especially because like I live in the town where Belgian Underground is from, you know, and people are like, dang, that's an original Belgian Underground, man. I can't believe you didn't wear that out already. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
saving it for special occasions, you know.
That's right.
Like I walk it into any of the breweries here in town, and they're like, no way.
And they're like, yes, yeah. So I talked about this last week, but we know the guy that used to run Belgian Underground, and he's offered to sell me that recipe.
Oh yeah, we need the recipe.
Yeah, if when Craft Computing brews its first beer, that's going to be it. That was the first beer ever on Talking Heads. I had the Secret Army beer for the very first episode of Talking Heads. It was one of the first 3 or 4 that I reviewed on the channel, and that I think needs to be the first beer that gets shipped.
That would be great. Belgian Underground had a lot of good beers, but my favorite were the Army Secret, and they had another. I think it was like a farmhouse ale or like a.
Ooh, that's not the one I was going to choose. Okay.
Ooh, what were you going to say?
They had a Berliner Schwarzbier. They had a black Berliner Weiss.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was good.
I'm suddenly remembering a couple of other beers that I can't remember what they were. We need John to sound off and remind us. But, oh, yeah, there was definitely something like that that just made my mouth water.
But that Secret Army.
No, so good. So good. And it was, what, 8 or 9% or something like that? I mean, it wasn't a weakling either.
Yeah.
Long Last Kiss. Oh.
Yeah.
I miss Capital Tap Room, man. You know, we got to do some of the Jeff. We got to go into Sisters, the
we do.
Irish Bistro there, and
we should. Will you let me film upstairs for old time's sake?
Yes, we should. Seriously, we should. You know.
I wonder if my wood floor is still there, because I put the wood floor upstairs in that place.
Yeah. Ugh. Good times.
Novella says, "Is that like the cave-aged, barrel-aged black lager that we had last week?" Not quite. It was way more Berliner Weiss. It was like a toasted German wheat beer. Yeah.
My God, Army Secret was 9.7%, dude.
I knew it was up there. Yeah, I knew it
like
was
2 of those back to back sometimes.
Yeah, I knew it was 9. I didn't. Yeah, but 9.7.
Oh my God.
Oh man, good times.
Looks like Green sent over a $5 super chat.
Oh, thanks so much, Green. With core and thread limits, is there any performance advantage to spin off a container for SMB? Or should I just attach it to the primary Windows VM and then share? Not really. In fact, you'd probably hurt performance by spinning off your file share and then attaching at the VM level. Anything that you virtualize, nearly every service that you virtualize comes with about a 5% performance hit. And SMB, especially for connecting to SMB shares, is very single-threaded dependent on any OS, regardless of if it's Windows, Linux, whatever. And so whether you are thread-limited sharing files to a Windows machine or thread-limited sharing files to a Linux KVM server that is passing the file share through to a Windows VM, you're going to be thread-limited. I'd rather just share with the Windows VM and cut the complexity.
Same.
Yeah, the container will definitely rob some performance.
John, what was the name of Belgian had I think it was a farmhouse, but maybe it was like a saison.
It was a saison, I want to say, and I think that was the first beer that you had on Talking Heads.
No, the first one I had was Evil Twin Brewing.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
You were just watching it, Jeff.
I didn't read the beers.
It was Evil Twin. Yeah, it was a black and tan. I think it was like I think the beer was called Yin and Yang or something like that, or Yin.
That tracks.
And it was a black and tan, and I know that we butchered. Well, the legend has it that we butchered the names of our beers, but
yeah,
it was Evil Twin Brewing, and it was a black and tan, and I think it was called Yin and Yang.
Okay.
And I only remember that because John called us out for butchering the names of the beers.
Okay, here we go. Rett is drinking a Yin and Yang from Evil Twin Brewing, an Imperial IPA mixed with an Imperial Stout, 10% ABV and 100 IBU. I'm enjoying 4 from Basecamp Brewing, not to be confused with Basecamp from Four Hands Brewing, which is what I had said on the show. And mine was a strong amber ale saison, 10%.
Damn, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
And then amber ale saison.
And then Belgian Underground was one of the first beers that I had on camera, and I think that was for the was that literally my first video of all time? Hold on. Let me go videos, oldest.
Let's find out.
Yes. Video number 1. Chinese X79 motherboards, do they even work? 2016 at Mare Secret. Belgian Underground from it's a Belgian style golden strong ale, 9.7%.
Wow. There you go.
Yep. Look at baby Jeff over there. Oh.
Oh man, I think the knowledge must really be tied up inside people's brains now, because I just tried to Google what I could be thinking of. Guess I can go to Untappd. They've probably got to have something, right?
For
beers,
I'm sure they have some
names
info
of
on
which.
beers. Oh, are you looking for the Belgian Underground Saison still?
Yeah. This is riveting television. I'm going to probably stop, but yo, somebody bought a Belgian Underground beer. When did they go out of business? Because somebody bought one on Untappd in 2020 from Silver Falls Brewery.
I actually just looked up their Facebook page. Belgian Underground had their last commercially available beer in 2022.
What?
That's the last post that they have.
Why couldn't I get it? Here's a wit beer called the White Brigade, or Wit Brigade, maybe. Wit Brigade sounds better than White Brigade.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a 3.59.
Yeah, I don't know if you should be making a German style ale that's basically white power.
A lager, Army Secret, Wit Brigade. All the chickens are not for what I thought. Het Vrie Ward. A lager pale. 3.74 on Untapped. I don't know how to say it, but I'll type that beer that I'm saying.
Yeah, put it in the chat.
It's a lager, though, so it's not...
Corey would like to know, is NFS faster than SMB? Most of the time, yes. NFS is a multi-threaded file transfer protocol, or network file share protocol, whereas SMB is still very heavily single-threaded. There is one CPU thread doing the majority of the work to actually transfer files. And it is a file level transfer, not a block level transfer, which also heavily impacts performance on certain systems. So if you were to mount an NFS share in Proxmox and then pass that through some method to a Windows VM, you might be able to do that. Although, why not just NFS share directly to the Windows VM? Because Windows is fully capable of mounting NFS shares. Belgian Underground, Safe House.
Rev and John coming in clutch, thank God.
There you go.
Yeah, that was like my introduction to that style of beer. It was really good.
Yep.
Safe House. I could have guessed, because I always think about safe houses now when I think about that style of beer. I'm like, right, it tastes like a garden.
Saisons are one style of beer, and farmhouse, like they're two sides of the same coin, is like the one beer style that I tend to avoid. I don't like the unpredictability of wild yeast. And I don't.
Is it always wild yeast? Is that how we get the name? Like,
typically farmhouse is going to be a wild yeast strain. And you get some really funky flavors in there. With most of those, and that's. And I've
had some that taste like if they've gone bad.
Yeah, 7 times out of 10 to me, they taste like they have gone bad. And then people will taste them and go, oh, that's a wonderful sour or saison or whatever else. And I'm like, this tastes like it died. This does not taste fit for human consumption. And I don't know what that marker is, but something being produced in that beer doesn't agree with me. I just don't like them.
I don't blame you. I think it's one of those things I like to drink when I'm feeling adventurous, because it's like you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
And Rev's dropping some knowledge here.
Yes.
In chat about the variations we're talking about. But,
yeah.
But I think it still stands that, yeah, you kind of had those funky flavors a little bit. And funky is like as good of a description as any as I can give anyway, so.
Yeah.
I had an excellent lemon peel saison from Freem, Rev says, and that's because it was from Freem.
Freem does have some pretty decent saisons, like, but that's what I said, like 7 out of 10. Well, 70% of the time it's wild yeast, and sometimes it's good, and then 30% of the time it's definitely not. But overall, if you've got at least a 1 in 3 chance of that beer tasting like death, I'm not going to take that chance.
Right.
I would much rather grab an IPA or an amber ale or a German Weiss or something.
See, that's me. I don't mind the gamble. I don't mind the gamble. I lose far more often than I win, but when you win, you got something memorable, like the Safe House from Belgian Underground. So,
but when you lose, I just spent $8 on a pint that I would rather not drink.
Yeah, I don't know. That
So,
doesn't bother me.
yeah.
It's the only way, it's like I used to roll up to Capital Tap Room and I would just like let John or I'd let Chuck pour me whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that would be the only way that I ever developed a taste for different styles of beers because I would just get in the habit of drinking the same thing, you know? I'm not saying you're wrong. You're not wrong. But I like, I do this all the time. I go to a tap house or something or a brewery that I've never been to and I look at something and I go, yeah, give me that. And they're like, you want a sample first? I'm like, hell no. Pull me a pint. All right? We're going to discover this beer the true way.
Yeah.
I ain't getting nothing I need to know from a sample.
We're going to let it breathe a bit.
I'm going to smell it. I'm going to drink it. We're going to know how the top of the glass tastes. We're going to know how the bottom of the glass tastes. Once that bad boy warms up a bit, is it the same beer?
Good question.
Ugh.
God, I'm looking through some of my old videos. There's some winners in here.
Love them.
Yeah.
Love them.
You produced some bangers in 8 years. You also produced some losers in 8 years. I mean, most of my old videos aren't too bad. Like, my Mac Pro one was one of the first ones that really, truly started hitting on a level that I wasn't used to. So for those who don't know the history of my channel, my very first video, this is the very first video I ever filmed and published, got 40,000 views overnight. And then I posted another one, and it got like 20,000 views overnight, and 62,000 views today. And then I posted another one that got 60,000 views, and again, another like 10,000 overnight. And I'm like, this is easy. Like, am I just like a natural? Am I God's gift to tech? Then we did a beer vlog, John and I. And if you're interested in the only time John and I have ever gotten kicked out of a beer event or denied service, that is that event. That one has 1,100 views. And then I did a keyboard review that has 7,700 views. But nice. then video 6, I did what is the average gaming PC, and I listed out my justification and benchmarked what I thought was the average, 121,000. And then a case review that's back down to 5,900. And yeah. There's a lot of 4 and 5 and 6K views here. But then the Mac Pro review. This one didn't hit right away. But I was on vacation for like 4 days, and all of a sudden my phone just starts going bzz, 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 while I'm sitting drinking a beer up in the mountains somewhere. And I'm like, oh, someone's commenting on this video. Oh, a lot of people are commenting on this video. It's like it was published for like a month, and then it started getting
came
views.
Back.
Yeah, it was one of the weirdest ones ever. The EVGA GTX 1080 for the win video, where my card caught fire, is where I learned to always turn your camera on when you're testing things. I came downstairs one day after telling a video to render and my computer was off, and I hit the power button and the computer didn't turn on. And I'm like, oh, this is weird. And so I spent a couple hours like troubleshooting it. And like, unplug, but it was a fully water-cooled PC. And so like troubleshooting it was just a pain in the ass. And so I was like, oh, take this component out, test it. Oh, that didn't work. Plug that back in, take this out, test it, try it again. And I had the camera out and I had the tripod out, and I'm like, I should be filming a lot of this. And part of me was like, I just want to get my computer back. It was a weekend. It was my free time. It was whatever else. I hit the power button one time, and a flame about this long shoots out from the back of my GPU. And I ripped the power cord out of the back, and I went, I didn't get that on camera. So we did a full post-mortem on the card, but it only has 10,000 views because I didn't show the card actually blowing up.
It's a bummer.
Yeah. And then since then, 30, 50, 90, 175, 690, 317, 172, 20.
you gotta unleash the uncork the bottle for the wish.com video. Just let it back into public and
There it is. 2.5 million, baby.
just a cool 2.5 mil.
She's still there. She's not doing anything anymore, but she's there.
She looking hella fly
Yeah,
with 2.5 mil.
that's right. My apology for episode 35. Not. Oh God, I remember that. Episode 35 is available as a re-upload. I think. Hold on. Live. Let's
What'd you
go. Let's
do?
go oldest here.
What's your apology for? What did you do?
I think it was a Steve show. So there's 35 right there. Captain's Log.
Could have been me.
That's right. Episode 35. I remember now.
Oh no. What did you do? What are you apologizing for?
John and I met on a Wednesday and did a full live stream where I never hit go live on YouTube.
Bah!
We broadcasted for 90 minutes without ever hitting go.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was
That's
great.
painful. That's painful.
So we did a episode 35 Captain's Log supplemental, where we just did a show. It was like on a Friday or Saturday. Like, hey John, you want to come back over and talk about the same things we just talked about?
No. Or did you? Did you touch all the same things?
We did. We followed the same thing. Yeah, that was great. I remember that now.
It's got to happen to everybody at least once.
I'm sure it does. Yeah. I know that's happened at least twice. Steve and I did another video where we realized it like 30 minutes in. So like at like 8:30, we're like, oh shoot, I guess we can go now.
See, and that's why now we always just sit in silence and wait for it to appear on our own YouTube browsers before we even acknowledge each other.
That's why I watch the stream happening and then click the button and then go into my intro. That's why we have a process and procedure for everything we do now.
Incredible.
Yeah.
You know, I always kind of liked the maybe it's overkill, but what I did for my D&D live stream was like a countdown. And so like before I'd have everything set up and ready to go and I'd press go on the countdown and it would like play music and like do all sorts of little things. And then when it gets to the end, it would play a pre-recorded like kind of introduction or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I could switch which scene I'm in manually.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. That doesn't solve the problem that happened to you. But I also thought it was kind of fancy and fun. So, you know, I'm mentioning it because I'm a fancy man, Jeff.
Yeah.
So it's been a hell of an 8 years. I suggest anybody watching this who wants to go see a blast from a past, go look at baby Jeff doing videos. Because what I love is the production and, you know, attention to detail is there from the very beginning. And you get to watch it get sharpened and get honed and see him through camera iteration after camera iteration, increasing his quality of his shoots. Because the talent and the eye and everything is already there, you know. So then going and getting better cameras and getting better lighting and getting better everything. It's just a process. You get to see it unfold over 8 years. So
Yeah.
And it's been great.
Yeah.
So
It's been a heck of a ride. Lots of ups, lots of downs, lots of upside downs. Let's not forget one of the most epic thumbnails that exists, which is when you discovered I had a batleth in the studio.
Yeah, it's not uncommon that I have to go and dig out that thumbnail to show to somebody on Bluesky or. And I love that I'm not even. And believe it or not a lot of room right there.
Right?
To be swinging a edge.
This is very
around.
much a one-person workstation that we're in.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
It was awesome. Well, I would come in every time, and I remember actually like seeing it, and I was like, one of these days I'm gonna grab that off the wall.
Wasn't hanging
Jeff,
on the wall there. That wasn't until the
It
upstairs.
was like
studio.
leaning against.
Yeah,
it was like leaning against something, right? It was
yeah,
just
it was
like,
against my bookshelf downstairs.
It was like you would lean a broom against the wall or against a
Yeah.
bookshelf in the corner. Yeah. That's where your bat lift was. Yeah, I'm just disappointed in you that it's not readily accessible in your current studio. I mean, it's in the garage, which is,
It's mounted to the side of my server rack. It's actually mounted to the side.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to look at, but, how are you supposed to pull it off the wall and defend your family and honor if it's mounted to the side of it? I mean, that's just not...
Yeah.
Who needs courage when you have a gun? Or whatever the professor says.
Here's a gun. Use it to shoot those guys. If they try to look in the box. Or whatever.
Oh, man. Well, Jeff, it's 8:07. It's been a hell of a show.
It has been.
We reported the news. We did some Futurama quotes. No Star Trek today, but you know what?
You know what? I did dress as a lieutenant commander engineer in a Halloween live stream a number of years ago. So there's that.
We got to bring that back.
Yeah.
Got to bring that back.
I don't fit in that suit anymore. I still have this suit.
Buddy. Come on.
That was 40 or 50 pounds ago. Like,
just unzip it, or I don't know.
There is no unzipping that one. That one was skin tied as it was. That was before I 3D printed my visor, though. I've never put the full package together and done the engineer suit with the visor. But it was a good suit. So John came over as the Guillermo del Toro. What was his machete line of flicks? He came over as a dude with a chainsaw for a hand, and I started off camera because I went, who has the better costume? John's trying to prove his case, and then I walked in, full regalia. Yes.
Look how happy you are.
I was so proud of myself. I've got the pips. I've got the reflective comm badge. I had everything. It was great.
Well, according to the calendar, it looks like Tom might have the Halloween episode, so you guys might have to really step it up and,
That's right. Yeah, Tom's on the 29th. So, yeah. Anyway, we should probably start wrapping this up. I know you got things to do. So, yeah, next week's going to be a little bit of a weird week. We will be broadcasting on September 30th, which is a Tuesday, because I will be in Phoenix, Arizona. And that episode, I will have George from Chips and Cheese on the show.
Ooh,
so tune into that one. Same time, Pacific time, I think. Ish, to be announced exactly when that stream takes place, but it will be sometime on that Tuesday. Rett will be back the following week after, and then we have Tom Lawrence joining the channel here in just 2 weeks from now, or 3 weeks from now, on October 15th.
A number of weeks.
Yeah, a number of weeks, some number of weeks. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. Like I said, we're working on kind of rejiggering, refocusing this show a little bit, trying to make sure we cover all of the articles that we want to cover, maybe getting some more narrow focus and maybe not necessarily breaking news stories, but let's talk about some home lab infrastructure. Let's talk about things that you're actively doing in your home labs. Let's answer questions about things that you might want to do, home lab, business, enterprise, whatever. That's going to be kind of the focus of the channel moving forward, less so whatever the rumor mill is circling about this week. So, if you like that, or if you have any other ideas for the channel, things that you'd like to see, let us know in the comments below. And other than that, thanks so much for watching. This has been episode 401 of Talking Heads. Join us every Wednesday night Pacific time for the latest in beer and tech news right here on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Drop this video a like. Rett, anything good of the order before we get out of here?
Nothing groundbreaking, but you guys can always catch me, Mondays when I release my Dungeons and Dragons podcast, except now it's a Daggerheart podcast. We're trying out the new Daggerheart system from Darrington Press, the Critical Role guys.
Yes,
so that's a lot of fun. That's available at dndpodcast.org or also daggerheartpodcast.com. And also, my band, the Marionberries, might be dropping a new EP here pretty soon called The Other Tapes. It's a live from the living room EP. Should be a fun time. Available on Spotify and wherever else you get your music. I'll make sure and let y'all know, but keep an eye out.
Excellent. Rudo chimes in and says, kudos from France. It's 5 a.m. here. Yes, I imagine it is. Hello from the West Coast. We're about ready to call it a night here. Anyway, I got to catch the footage of Jeff in full uniform, says Jay. Yeah. It's been a fun show. Thank you all so much for watching. Join us every Wednesday night. And as always, we'll see you next week, but on Tuesday. Tuesday, everyone. That joke never gets old, Rett.